What's up, guys? This your boy, Mr. I240. I'm back with another video today. Hey, I want to thank y'all for the love that the Owen Hart episode got. So I put all my all into it. I just want to put perspective on his career, his life, and most importantly, on perspective of God and stuff like that. If you watch the video, you know. If not, y'all can go back to the recent video. Y'all also go watch that Bray Wyatt video. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, I want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for another day. If it weren't for him, it wouldn't be no me, it wouldn't be no y'all, it wouldn't be no page. You know what I'm saying? So, I forgot to tell y'all, we finally reached 400 subscribers. So you know what that means, right? That Memphis Wrestling episode is coming real soon. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to do this episode here, you know what I'm saying, put perspective on not only the wrestlers' lives, not only the wrestler careers, the wrestler lives, and most importantly, just on life in general, and the man above himself, and what people have to go through, and why you got generation curses and all this stuff. But we're gonna get to all that. But today's episode is about my main man, Mr. Thump, the headbutt man himself, the junkyard dog. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're new to the page, we're going to get to this in just a second. If you're new to the page, hit that comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, and the episodes be dropping real soon. What's so crazy, y'all, I actually wrote this within 2 days, you know what I'm saying? Well, with the limited research that I have, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to, find the episode of Dark Side of the Ring and put my own twist on it. But default on you gotta buy it now. Then I ain't finna buy no $5.99 stuff like this. So I had to go find different stuff right there, do my research to get to the point. But hey, let's get into it. Like I said, today's episode about my main man, Junkyard Dog, aka Sylvester Riddle. Speaking of that, Sylvester Riddle was born December 13th, 1952. On June 1st, 1998, he died. But we're going to get to all that why he died. If you know, you know. But we're going to get to all that. So, we all know he was a professional wrestler, a former college football player. He was very good from what I seen and what I read. He received his name, the Junkyard Dog, while working at a junkyard. His style was he came in the ring with a dog dog collar, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. His theme song, of course, was by the great band Queen. Another one bites the dust. Y'all know the song. It won't even bump Queen like that. But when that song come on, that jump be popping. He was making headlines on the card, drew large crowds, sold out around, across the state of Louisiana, especially the Louisiana Superdome. He became the first black wrestler to be made the top star of the promotion. In the 80s, he was known for his headbutt and upper and he was known for his headbutt. And he battled large wrestlers such as One Man Gang, Kamala, King Kong Bundy. He had a dance called the Thump. He just moved his legs to the side, had the little kids in the ring dancing too. So it was easy to relate to a character like this, especially back in the 80s when it was, bright, cartoonish. So it was cool to, relate to characters like that. Of course, you like your Hulk Hogan's, your Macho Man, Randy Savage. Even you had such heroes that was, colorful, related to like your Adrian Adonis, Harley Race, Ric Flair with the Flash, the Drift, all that. You know what I'm saying? So the 80s was just a good time, a good wrestling scene on the map. And also, like I said, he played football at Fayetteville State University. He was a 2-time honorable mention All-American. And he is in the Sports Hall of Fame. He graduated in political science. So let's get to it. 1976 to 1980. He debuted working for Jeff Jerry Daddy, Jerry. Then he had moved to Nick Galley's company using the name Leroy Roster. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, put it in the comments. Then he moved to Stu Hart Company, Stampede Wrestling, where he went by Big Daddy Riddle. He captured the North American Championship not once but twice. During that time, he feuded with Jake Roberts before he got the name Jake the Snake Roberts. They were just trying to get their foot in the door. They also battled in a ladder match. He faced Paddy Ryan, Gilbert Hayes, and he had a tag match with Dynamite Kid versus Jake the Snake Roberts and Terry Sawyer. According to Jake Roberts, in an interview during the time when they was in Stampede Wrestling, he wasn't just addicted to coke yet, but he was popping their pills and drinking real hard at the time. Now we're gonna get to all that. My boy was battling demons and stuff like that, just trying to have a good time, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get to that. Then of course, he made his NWA, 1980 to 1984. NWA South Wrestling with Bill Watts. He moved to the South where Watts gave him the name and the Junkyard Dog. He gave him the name the Junkyard Dog, where he would come down the ring with long chatter attire, a dog collar, and wore white boots. He came to the ring at one point pushing a cart filled with stuff. Hold on, I'm sorry. He lost some of his matches before his gimmick caught fire. And he became the top face of the company. He had an infamous feud with the infamous Freebirds, where when he was supposed to be blind and stuff like that with hair cream, where Michael Hayes sprayed him with the hair cream. And at the peak, and at the time, his daughter was being born. So the angle was, which his first child, which added more to the storyline and it had more heat to it. So basically, they made it seem like Michael Hayes blinded him and he couldn't see his daughter being born. So of course, while he was pretending to be blind, the Freebirds had a lot of heat on because the fans was really starting to love the Junkyard Dog. They was angry, they was furious, they was mad. So it was to the point where they needed escorts. Because like back then, you know what I'm saying, they wanted to make angles back then and wrestling more real and relatable. So like according to Ric Flair on the Shannon Sharp podcast, wrestlers back then just couldn't hang out with each other because they want the feud to feel real and more intense and stuff like that. Like the guys really hated each other. So, at that time, where was he? Oh, okay. So he ended up blind. You know what I'm saying? It was to a point where a fan almost shot Michael Hayes for real because they, you know what I'm saying? He like, this for you, Junkyard Dog, and police stopped him and stuff like that. So, which made the feud had more heat, like I said. They needed escorts. But the feud ended with, even though he was still blind, the feud ended in a steel cage match with Junkyard Dog and Michael Hayes in a steel cage in a steel cage dog collar match. During the Freebirds feud, like I just said like a while ago, a fan almost shot Michael Hayes. And during that time, he was starting to get that buzz. He was shining. He was partying with the girls, the drugs, drinking real tough, and you know, during them days at South Wrestling. So he feuded with Ernie Ladd, the OG, who was a former football player himself, turned professional wrestler, Ted DiBiase, Kamala, King Kong Bundy, and Butch Reed. In 1982, he had a feud with his best friend Ted DiBiase because they was real close like this. And it was notable because once they was friends, they were tag partners, and DiBiase had turned heel and won the loser leave town match, which helped with the help of a loaded glove he won, which was JYD to leave town. While during that time, he was involved in a cross-promotional match at NWA AWA versus Nick Bockwinkel. Then he had returned and reclaimed the North American Championship. During that time, he started feuding with Butch Reed. Butch Reed was once his protege, but then Reed had turned heel with the help of Buddy Lando when they attacked JYD. They covered the dog, JYD, in chicken feathers and they had many matches about evolve around the North American Heavyweight Championship. And they had matches in street fights, dog collar, and they had a 2 out of 3 falls, and they had a steel cage match. And at one point, he was lured. Well, basically, Vince McMahon got the word about him, and JYD Buzz is up here. So Vince wanted him at the peak of his career. And of course, JYD went and left and got the bag. But this asshole here was hurt. Bill Watts. From what I heard and what I seen, he was a great promoter, but he was an asshole to people. A lot of people didn't even like this guy. So he felt hurt. He felt hurt and betrayed that his top star was leaving him. But from the defining moment, if you watch the Dark Side of the Ring, Junkyard Dog was in the bathroom overhearing a conversation that Bill Watts and somebody else had, and from according, if I'm paraphrasing, put it in the comments, he said that nigger ain't going nowhere. And they said Junkyard Dog kicked down the door and stuff like that. So, but even so, like I was saying, I wrote down, Junkyard Dog was looking at it as a big opportunity. Like, look, I had just had a daughter. I get more money. I get to provide for myself and my family. So, Watts seemed like didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just mentioned, he called him a nigger, and that was the last straw, and Junkyard Dog had left. But a lot of people had problems with Bill Watts. Like I said, he was a good promoter, but he was an asshole. I mean, even MLB Hall of Famer, the great Hank Aaron, called him out on that bullish. And it probably, and lost his job. And Jake Roberts, y'all remember Jake Roberts had left WWE in 1992 and got a big, a multi-million-dollar deal in WCW. But, you know, Bill Watts has kind of WCW, and he tore Jake Roberts' contract up. He tore Jake Roberts' contract up. Then, of course, he won liked by Flash Funk, Ron Simmons. Like I said, it was so many guys that didn't like this guy. I ain't saying he was a bad person, but from what I heard, he was just racist. So he just look at you like an employee, and he ain't give a damn if he called you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the guy either. I don't even know the man, but if he doing that type of shit, F him. Junkyard Dog deserved to leave and move on. Then, of course, his WWF debut from 1984 to 88. Well, now, we thinking we finna get something new, something fresh. Now, he was getting pushed a little bit, but he was getting pushed to the mid-card. He never reached that success that he had, with Watts. Because once he got to the WWE, he was kind of in the mid-card scene. I mean, he had little title matches, but it just wasn't hitting on that. Yeah, it was to the point they started putting him on cartoon. I just feel like, to be honest with you, I'm just going to say it. I feel like he was Vince McMahon token. Because if you look before then, before the WWF events, how many black guys was in the WWF at the time? I'll give you 10 seconds to answer that. Put them in the comments too. Exactly, none. So I just feel like Vince McMahon used him as a token. And of course, I feel like it was something to do with his own doing too. Especially with his wrestling style. I mean, he was very stiff and stuff like that. But I also think the partying with the drugs and alcohol got in the way. So, back to the story. In the summer of 1984, he left Mid-South Wrestling for the WWF. He was a mid-card wrestler, but still one of the faces of the company. He was still over as a face. He was interacting with growing numbers of young people in attendance, bringing them to the ring, dancing, doing the thump dance. He wrestled at WrestleMania 1, I think, against Greg Valentine for the Intercontinental Championship, but he won by a countout. Oh, excuse me. He won the Wrestling Classic tournament by defending Randy Savage by a countout. And also, to reach the finals, he beat Moondog spot Iron Sheik to get to the finals. He had a classic feud with Harley Race. He had feuds with, of course, Harley Race, the WrestleMania match they had. He hit him with the chair, of course, y'all remember that. He had a feud with the Funk brothers, Dory Funk and Terry Funk, where he teamed up with Hulk Hogan. Then he had a feud with Adrian Adonis, Greg Valentine, Ron Bass, and he lost to Rick Rude at SummerSlam in 1988. See, that run with this, he was just a mid-card. He was just a B-plus player. He couldn't never get to the mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like at the time you had your Hogans, Randy Savage, you know, even Boss Man was getting the shine in the 80s. Earthquake. Who else? Andre the Giant, you know, in the late 90s was still getting that shine. You had your Steamboat. You had your Heart Foundations. You had your Rockers. So it was hard for him to reach the brink and stuff like that. But like I said, I believe the drugs and the alcohol was kind of in the way. You know what I'm saying? For reaching to that next level. Because I'm pretty sure Vince wanted to push him. But I got to give Vince his props. Sometimes Vince do hit and miss on a push. But when certain people don't get pushed, I got to give him his props and his shine. He right. Because everybody always want to blame it on the promoter. Why this person didn't get this. Sometimes it could just be the person themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you got to think about that. Because, you know what I mean, I give Vince his props all the time. He did want to push Ahmed Johnson to the moon, but Ahmed Johnson wasn't ready for that pressure, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing in the ring. Then, of course, during that time, too, he fought Butcher Vachon. Like I said, he teamed up with Hogan against the Funk brothers. So, like I said, his run in the WWE was decent. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I just feel like Vince used him as a token, too. You know, he's a relatable guy, red pants, white boots, kids love him, chain, dancing. But he just never got that big break. Hell, he never won any world championships in the major leagues. And put that on there, too. He never had the chance to win the major championship. Like, he never won the WWF title. He never won the WCW title. Hell, he didn't win the Intercontinental title. Hell, in WCW, he didn't win the United States title. He never had that success that he did with Watts. I mean, it's like his success with Watts didn't transfer to the big leagues, if that makes sense. And it can be 50-50. Whether it's his own doing with the drugs, alcohol, or Vince just couldn't market him like he thought he could. Then, of course, my main man went to WCW in 1998 through 1993. He made his debut in 1988 at the Clash of Champions during the time where the Russian Assassins and Ivan Kolossov. He spent the little of his first months in 1999 teaming up with Kolossov and Michael Hayes versus the Russian Assassins. In April 2nd, 1989, the feud renewed with him and Butch Reed at the Clash of Champions, where it all began in New Orleans. Then, of course, May 7th, he no-showed at their pay-per-view Wrestle War 89, and he was fired. Like I said, who knows why he didn't show up? Was it the drugs? Did Bill Watts come to WCW in 89? I don't know why he didn't show up, but it could be a lot of things. But they did fire him. Then a year later, at the Captain Combat pay-per-view, he got rehired by Dan Booker or another great wrestler, Ole Anderson. He began his main event run in 1990. He defeated Mark Callis, which is The Undertaker, in 39 seconds. He embroiled in a not-so-great feud with Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship. He defeated Ric Flair by DQ on June 13th at the Clash of Champions. Then, of course, during that time, he had a short-lived feud. Well, he had a short-lived faction called the Dudes with Attitude with Sting, Paul Orndorff, and the Giant Gonzalez. Then in the fall, he had a feud with Arn Anderson over the TV title. But he did finish the year defeating Moondog Rex, Iron Sheik, and Bill Armin. And of course, in February 10, 1991, he made history when he was a part of the first WCW title, six-man title, teaming up with Ricky Morton and Tommy Rich to defeat Dutch Mantell and Buddy Landel and they became the WCW Six-Man Tag Team Championship. And they had a short-lived feud. He had a short-lived feud with the Master Blaster, which was Kevin Nash, winning both encounters. So him and his partners held the belts until June 3rd, where they was defeated by the Freebirds. And then he took a hiatus. Then after dropping a lot of weight to improve his condition, he returned to February 29, 1992 at Super Brawl. During the segment with Abdul LaBucha giving Ron Simmons the two-piece and the biscuit, he came through the crowd and he made the save. He found himself in tag matches with Ron Simmons, Barry Windham, and Big John, which Matt Osborne, aka Dunk the Clown. And in April and June, he faced his former partner, Ricky Morton, and he defeated him on each occasion. Then he formed a tag team with Big Cat, aka Mr. Hughes, where they feuded with the Vegas Control, which was DDP and Kevin Nash. And in April 1993, he formed a team with Jim Neidhart, where they feuded with Dick Slater and Paul Orndorff. And after defeating Slater on July 28th, he left WCW. Then, of course, in 1994, he was on the independent scene, where he wrestled for NWA Dallas, and he wrestled for a National Wrestling Conference in Las Vegas. He had matches with Iron Sheik, Mr. Hughes, Honky Tonk Man, and he stayed active until his death. He made an appearance at ECW, Western Palooza, and he had heat with New Jack at the time over the dope. Then, of course, June 1st, at the age of 45, he had a single car crash on I-20 near Forest, Mississippi, returning from his daughter's graduation in North Carolina. And of course, he was inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2004 by his daughter Latoya, his sister Christine Woodburn, and the great OG Hall of Famer himself, Ernie Ladd, days before WrestleMania 20. Now, he did accomplish a lot. Like I said, he didn't accomplish a lot in the major leagues, but he did have a nice lengthy career. He was a 3-time Mid-South Louisiana champion, 4-time Mid-South North America heavyweight champion, 8-time Mid-South Tag Team champion, 2-time Stampede North American heavyweight champion, and 1-time USWA World Heavyweight champion, and 1-time WCW Six-Man Tag Championship. That seemed like a Hall of Fame career. I just wish he could have done better and he could have done more, but he didn't get that chance or the opportunity. But I feel like that's an impressive resume within itself. And of course, the feuds he had: Butch Reed, Harley Race, Butcher Vachon, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase, Kamala, Ric Flair, Terry Funk, and Dory Funk, King Kong Bundy, Paul Orndorff, and Greg Valentine, and Nikolai Volkov, One Man Gang, and Jake Roberts. Now, that seemed like a nice, healthy career. You know what I'm saying? That man, in that short period of time of life, did accomplish a lot. With or without the drugs. But he did do that. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to the OG. But let's get down to the nitty gritty. During this time, he had a lot of demons to fight. You know what I'm saying? And we all got demons. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying, like I always say on this junk, I ain't the most holy man. I ain't the most whatever. But when you successful or you just an athlete and stuff like that, sometimes you'll do anything to stay on the next level. Sometimes, hell, I ain't saying I turn to drugs, but as an athlete, sometimes you can be vulnerable on the road. You got stuff going on with the kids. You gotta keep a straight face, pretend like you happy. You never know what these guys be going through. You know what I'm saying? When they doing the drugs and alcohol. Some guys just do it because, or sometimes with guys, they just is mechanism. Because you got to remember, during this WWE run, the powder, the boy used to get high before the match. Like he'd be at the Gorilla sniffing that crack rock. Or that heroin, I'm sorry, either or. He used to get high during that time. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of folks be thinking, man, doing drugs is cool and stuff like that. But when you got an addiction or whatever like that, it's hard to overshake it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's hard to overcome. Hell, look at Jake Roberts. He finally overcame his stuff. He always say DDP saved his life. I ain't gonna say DDP saved his life, but really he saved your life. I just think he put DDP in place to put you in a position to save your own life. You know what I'm saying? I can give people credit that saved my life, but we all know there's only one person that can save your life, and it's him. Because he can take you out just like that. Because there been guys that been overdosed and did plenty of drugs and stuff like that, and they be questioning why God keeping me here because your time ain't up yet. He wants you to still accomplish something and so he wants you to accomplish something and give him the glory and give him the credit. You know what I'm saying? And you got to think about it too. I don't know if he was tired or he was drunk. I think he was drunk and he went to sleep. They came from the graduation. Y'all put in the comments on the episode. I tried to find it, but I couldn't remember. But I think they were trying to get him to stay and stuff like that, but he was like, nah, man, I gotta head back home and stuff like that, right? But then he drove back home, went to sleep on the wheel, and boom, one love gone. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, yes, we look up to these guys, we love these guys, and stuff like that. But you gotta remember, these are somebody kids. They normal people just like me and you. Cause when you got stuff going on behind closed doors, you never really know what that person going through. Cause you gotta remember, and it's just life in general. You always gonna have a demon side, you always gonna have the godly side, especially in their professional lifestyle and what wrestlers be doing, especially back in the day, or just any professional sports, entertainment, movies, and stuff like that. Just the stuff you have to go through in 24 hours just to keep up and be successful. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about that. So you gotta think about that too. So my message. So what I started to realize, especially with entertainment and just life, period, bro. That word can be wicked, man. Yeah, they could be happy on the outside, but some of them guys don't even be happy on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Because especially like guys like him or hell, Dino Bravo. I saw a video of him. He was a big star in Canada. He got the Vince. He wasn't making that money like that, so he had to slang that heroin and stuff like that. And then hell, he got backdoored. Peace out, pow. You know what I'm saying? So I just realized, man, the price of fame ain't even worth it. And also, man, being sinful ain't worth it. And I'm just being real. And me, I sin almost every other day. My sin is probably lusting right now. And I'm just being real in my video, because I like to be real with my family and my subscribers. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't going into detail. Because at one point, like I told you in the last video, I was addicted to the porn and stuff like that. So, I think he did get drunk or whatever before he passed, before I read this video. But I want to say to this, most important at the end of the video. You got to ask yourself, is you dying to sin or you dying to win? Because right now, y'all, be real, y'all. Time is ticking right now in life. Time is ticking. Whether Hollywood trying to, or whatever they trying to come up with their own ending, or the jury and maker coming. Right now, even this, like, you know what I'm saying? We all got to make a decision when the time comes, y'all. Because that's why I try to do these personal episodes to get a message out. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, all this stuff could be gone tomorrow. And you ain't gonna have no choice but to go to him. whether you believe it or not. And so, what I'm saying is, and I saw this pastor say that, like, your last breath, you could be dying in sin. And you don't even know if you might not have a good relationship with the Lord himself. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your last moments being sin and stuff like that. Whether you get into it with a nigga or you sold drugs to a dude or whatever, get your life right. Whether it's entertainment and life general. Because you might not have that chance tomorrow. Yeah, you entertaining these fans and millions of fans and stuff like that. But you only got one life to live. You only got one life. And someday you might gotta meet them. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't saying I'm the most holy, but, you know, because I got a homeboy that watch this dude, Cody IT Witchcraft Trash. I watched it one time. I had an out-of-body experience. And that's when I watched the Takeoff joint. So, I just want to leave a good message. I want to make this video about my main man, Junkyard Dog. But I just want to put a perspective on his life and life in general and our life together. Because, look, it's going to be to a point we all we got is each other. Especially if we both be having blackouts. Y'all see that we having Iceland having volcanoes. China's having earthquakes. So some stuff is starting to happen around the world. And there's people out here that's really trying to save the world. Especially the guys on TikTok. They pushing their message out word. I listen to this stuff every day. That's why it take me a minute to make videos and stuff like that. Because life ain't sweet right now like it used to. So, but that's it for this episode. I just want to say, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Also, the Memphis Wrestling coming soon. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.